Indian food is one of the most complex and nutritionally powerful cuisines in the world. The spice tradition alone, turmeric, cumin, ginger, coriander, fenugreek, carries documented anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits. Done right, this is some of the best food you can eat at a chain. Done wrong, it's a diluted version of a great cuisine that deserves better. Here's every major player ranked worst to best. Number 6. Steam Tray Buffet Indian. This category, the fixed-price buffet with steam trays of food that has been sitting since 11 a.m., is present in almost every American city and actively misleads people about what Indian food should taste like. The structural problem with steam tray Indian food is time and temperature. Curries are built on layered cooking, aromatics sautéed in oil first, then spice bloomed in the fat, then liquid added, then protein and vegetables simmered to doneness. That process produces a dish with depth and coherence when it's served immediately. 2 hours on a steam tray strips the texture from the vegetables, tightens the protein, reduces the sauces to concentrated salt and oil paste, and flattens the spice profile into a uniform, indistinct warmth with no variation. The nutritional picture suffers proportionally. Freshly cooked Indian food retains heat-sensitive vitamins from the vegetables, probiotic content from dairy-based components like raita, and the full potency of the spice compounds that give Indian food its health benefits. Food sitting at steam table temperature for 2 hours has lost most of that value. The value appears good, $12 for unlimited access to many dishes, but unlimited access to food that doesn't taste right and has lost most of its nutritional value is not a bargain. It's a high volume of a diminished product. The other problem is the format communicates nothing about real Indian cooking. People who eat steam tray buffet Indian and conclude they don't like Indian food have never actually had properly made Indian food. They've had a steam tray approximation of it. Seek out concepts that cook to order. The difference is profound. Number 5. Over-Americanized Indian chains. Several chains in secondary U.S. markets have built Indian-themed menus around heavily cream-diluted, sugar-softened, spice-reduced versions of Indian classics designed specifically to minimize challenge to a palate unaccustomed to the cuisine. The butter chicken tastes like tomato cream soup. The tikka masala is sweet and mild. The vindaloo has no heat. The dal is under-seasoned and watery. The philosophy behind these chains is make Indian food acceptable to the broadest possible audience by removing everything that makes it interesting. The result is food that looks like Indian food, uses Indian ingredient names, and delivers none of the flavor complexity, the nutritional depth, or the culinary integrity of the genuine article. Spices in Indian food are not just flavoring agents, they're the primary health driver of the cuisine. And their health benefits are dose-dependent. Turmeric's curcumin content needs to be present at meaningful levels to deliver anti-inflammatory effects. Ginger's gingerol compounds need to be present at real concentration. Chains that water down the spice profiles to placate cautious eaters are simultaneously watering down the health benefits that make Indian food worth eating. The value is poor. You're paying for a dining experience in a cuisine category and receiving food that doesn't actually represent that category. The price implies real Indian cooking. The food is a pale institutional approximation of it. Number 4. Ahar. Ahar is a small regional chain operating primarily in the Mid-Atlantic that takes a more traditional approach to Indian fast casual. Counter service, bowl and plate format, a focused menu built around regional Indian classics. It doesn't generate much national conversation, but within its markets, it serves genuinely decent food at competitive prices. The dal is where Ahar earns its ranking. The tarka dal, yellow lentils finished with a tempering of cumin, mustard seeds, garlic, and dried chili and ghee, is prepared correctly. The tempering process releases the fat-soluble flavor compounds from the spices and carries them through the dish. This technique is the difference between properly made Indian food and Indian food that's merely been seasoned. Ahar gets the technique right, which is meaningful. The biryani is solid, fragrant, properly spiced, with rice that has been cooked with intention rather than just combined with protein at service. The chicken dishes are adequately marinated and cooked at real temperature rather than being soft from over-steaming. The health profile is strong in the way Indian food built on legumes always is. The dal and lentil dishes are high in protein, fiber, and iron, with real spice content providing genuine antioxidant properties. The spice levels are honest, not aggressively hot, but present in a way that communicates respect for the cuisine. Value is fair. Portion sizes are reasonable. Pricing is competitive with the fast casual tier, and the food quality justifies what you're paying. Not the most exciting option in this category, but a legitimate one. Number 3. Tava Indian Kitchen. Tava Indian Kitchen operates in the Bay Area and applies the build-your-own fast casual model to Indian food with notable success. The format, choose your base, your protein, your curry or dal, your toppings, gives customers the kind of control over their meal that makes fast casual Indian genuinely practical for everyday eating. The proteins at Tava are the strongest element. The chicken tikka is marinated in real yogurt and spices, not a commercial marinade applied at speed, and grilled on a tandoor-style grill that produces the characteristic char and dried exterior that tikka requires. The lamb is properly spiced. The paneer is fresh and has the right texture, firm enough to hold up in the curry, with a mild dairy flavor that absorbs the sauce around it correctly. The curries rotate and are made in-house. The sag, the spinach-based curry, is particularly good. Fresh spinach cooked down with aromatics and spices in a way that preserves some texture rather than pureeing it to smoothness. The chana masala is well spiced with real tomato and ginger in the base. From a health standpoint, Tava is one of the best options in this category. The build-your-own format allows for precise control. Choose a legume-heavy curry, a lean protein, and load up on vegetable toppings. And you've built a meal that's high in plant protein, high in fiber, and dense with the anti-inflammatory spice compounds that make Indian food genuinely health-supportive. Value is strong for the Bay Area market where it operates. The ingredient quality and cooking technique justify the pricing comfortably. Number 2. Bombay Eats. Bombay Eats takes a more traditional fast casual approach. Bowls and wraps built around rice, dal, and protein choices, and executes it with a consistency and flavor authenticity that most chains in this category fail to reach. The dal is the best version available at any fast casual Indian chain short of the number 1 on this list. The dal makhani, slow-cooked black lentils with butter, cream, and tomato, is made from scratch with the cooking time it actually requires. Good dal makhani is a multi-hour process. The lentils need time to break down to a creamy consistency while retaining enough texture to feel substantial. The tomato needs time to lose its raw acidity and integrate into the sauce. The butter and cream need to be incorporated late, not cooked out. Bombay Eats does this correctly, and the result is a dal that would hold up in a serious Indian restaurant kitchen. The chutneys are made in-house daily. The mint chutney is bright and fresh. The tamarind chutney has the right sweet-sour balance with real tamarind, rather than a tamarind-flavored sauce. These details compound. When every component of a meal is made from real ingredients, the overall experience is coherent in a way that assembled food can never be. The naan is fresh and warm, baked to order rather than reheated. Properly made naan has pocket structure from the steam created during baking, a slight char from the tandoor, and a chewy interior. Bombay Eats delivers this consistently. The health profile is exceptional. The dal-centric menu is built around one of the most nutritionally complete foods available. Black lentils are high in plant protein, high in fiber, rich in iron and folate, and low glycemic. The spice levels are real. This is not a chain that removes the spice to broaden its audience. The turmeric content across the menu is meaningful. The ginger in the sauces is real ginger. The health benefits of the cuisine are intact. Value is strong. Real ingredients, real cooking technique, honest portions, and fair pricing in a cuisine category where most chains are charging real prices for fake versions of the food. Number 1. Curry Up Now. Curry Up Now tops this list because it does something the rest of the category hasn't figured out. It respects the source cuisine deeply enough to cook it correctly, and it's creative enough to make that cuisine accessible to a broad audience without diluting what makes it great. The tikka masala is the benchmark item and the one that most clearly demonstrates what separates Curry Up Now from its competition. The tikka masala sauce is built correctly. A tomato base with ginger and garlic cooked down to concentrate their flavor, whole spices bloomed in oil to release their fat-soluble compounds, cream added at the end to bring richness without cooking out the spice profile, and the entire sauce reduced to the right consistency. This is a sauce that was made from scratch by someone who understands the cooking process. You taste the difference immediately. The sexy fries, hand-cut fries topped with tikka masala sauce, paneer, chutney, and tamarind, sound like a novelty and function as a revelation. The contrast of crispy potato, spiced sauce, fresh paneer, and the bright sour finish of tamarind is a flavor combination that only works because the components are all made properly. A bad tikka masala on fries is just greasy fries. A great one creates something entirely new. This is the latter. The dal makhani is the dish that separates serious Indian cooking from everything else, and Curry Up Now makes it correctly. Slow-cooked black lentils with the patience they require, finished with butter and cream, with the deep, round flavor that only develops over real cooking time, is a significant culinary statement. The heat levels are real. Curry Up Now does not water down the spice. The mild options are mild, the spicy options are genuinely spicy, and the heat comes from real chills prepared correctly rather than from generic heat compounds added at the end. This is the cuisine functioning as it should. The capsaicin is present, the warming cumulative heat is present, and the metabolic and cardiovascular benefits that go with it are intact. From a health standpoint, Curry Up Now is exceptional. The DAL is a nutritional powerhouse. The spice compounds in the marinades and sauces are present at meaningful concentrations. The paneer and legume-based dishes deliver complete protein from plant and dairy sources. The fat is primarily from ghee and olive oil, not from the processed frying oils that undermine most fast food nutrition. Value is outstanding. Portions are generous. The food is made from real components by people who know the cuisine, and the pricing is competitive with the fast casual tier. Curry Up Now is what the Indian fast casual category should look like everywhere. It doesn't yet, but it shows what's possible.